How are we doing today? Can you all see us okay? I don't know if this side would be better. Look around this. Okay. I'm Joyce Brenny, and I'm the owner of Brenny Transportation in St. Joseph, Minnesota. And I want to just ask you folks, how many of you want to help your drivers and retain your drivers? Show of hands. Yeah. And that's why we're here today. We're here. Donna is the director of St. Christopher's Trucker Relief and Development Fund, and there are many free options for drivers to get healthier and improve their health, and we want to teach you about some of those today. So we're going to have Donna start by letting you know some of those programs.
So first of all, how many of you have heard about the St. Christopher Fund before? One? Two? Okay, well, I'm glad to tell you about it. I always like to know more people that know it, but glad you're here and can spread the word. So we are a nationwide nonprofit. We're based in Knoxville, Tennessee, but we serve Class A over-the-road truck drivers all across the nation. We have two missions, and the first is to prevent illnesses and promote wellness in the trucking industry. So that's what I'm going to talk about first. Is a huge part of ways that you can retain your drivers is to offer them our free health programs. Our second mission is to provide essential household expenses when an over-the-road driver comes off the road for an illness or injury. So, you might have insurance, but can you pay your mortgage if you're out of work? And this is completely based on charity. You don't have to be a member. So send your drivers. Again, it's a free program, and I'll tell you more about that. We'll start with prevention. So we have several health and wellness programs. Again, free to Class A over-the-road drivers. First is Rigs Without Cigs. It's a tobacco cessation program. It's called Rigs Without Cigs because that's a great catchy name, but it includes if you chew, so any kind of nicotine. And we have a tobacco cessation specialist that will walk you through the program, walk you to get tobacco free. We have a Facebook group where other drivers are working on the same things and they're talking to each other and encouraging each other. We have a great success rate that I'll show you in a little bit. Hugely successful. They have accountability partners, and again, it's just a free health coach. How convenient to get that and have that person nudging you every week, every day. Give me a thumbs up. How you doing? We also have diabetes prevention. So we see drivers coming off the road all the time because their diabetes or A1C. They go get their DOT physical and they're taken out of the road. So we really want to focus on that diabetes prevention. So that particular program is for prevention. We have another one I'll tell you about if you already have diabetes. But the diabetes prevention is a CDC program. It's been so successful, and I'm going to tell you about the stats next, but I get excited. And Joyce actually has a driver who's been in our program, and I'll have her tell you about his success.
Right, so we've had a driver that has been involved in the diabetes prevention program. And just kind of letting you guys know, as the owner of a trucking company, we've really prided ourselves on our retention, and our retention is 90%. And we're doing that by involving our drivers and giving them information about wellness, also having them help us create and think of ideas to raise money for St. Christopher. But this particular driver, he was in last week, and he's been in the program, and it was kind of cute. He was standing in the dispatch office, and I said, "Hey, Bill," it's like, "You lost weight?" And in true truck driver style, he got all kind of embarrassed and so on. And he was so proud. He's tucking his shirt in his pants now, and he said he has not done that in years. So the program's working for him. He's becoming healthier, and he's just one success story that we have, and there's many more.
And I'll say it's a CDC diabetes prevention program, but we have tailored it to trucking. So it's a virtual program, so any driver can do it. And we also are using their expertise and their knowledge about what works in a truck and what doesn't, and what works in a travel stop versus going to the grocery store. And so we really try to bring in things from the industry and things that will be relevant to the truck drivers that are in the program. So not just using the CDC curriculum, but really trying to tailor it to them. We also offer vaccines for uninsured drivers. We do flu, shingles, and pneumonia. Shingles and pneumonia are very common in the average truck driver population, and they can take you out of work for a while. And then, of course, flu is very deadly, and the vaccines can help, and it's free if you're uninsured. If you're insured, your insurance will pay for it. That's why we do uninsured for that program. Driven to Be Healthy is a 12-week program, again, working one-on-one with a health coach. It uses a lot of the CDC diabetes prevention pieces, again, tailored to truck drivers, but really working on heart health as well and just total body health. Like, how can you make little changes every day to be overall healthy? And that's a 12-week video program. You can start anytime, and then our health coach starts working with you. And new this year, we are having free at-home cancer screening test. Right now, we are able to offer prostate cancer screening. Later in the year, we'll do colorectal and cervical cancer. So that, again, free. And you just sign up on our website, truckersfund.org, and you will be sent, you can choose to go to a lab anywhere in the country, or you can choose for the kit to be sent to your home and take it when you want. You mail it back, you get the results. If it's positive, you're referred to a specialist in wherever you choose. So we work with Call on Doc doing that, which is telemedicine. So our next thing with telemedicine, we have two telemedicine providers that offer amazing memberships. So for the drivers for that, if they choose, it's like $7 a month or $8 a month for 7 family members, and includes some mental health help. So, I mean, it's just priceless. And truck drivers, I would just love for them to utilize telemedicine more and utilize Call on Doc. And so the mental health part is going to be a bigger piece of that telemedicine through Call on Doc coming up as well.
Just to comment on that, as someone also that helps the drivers, they're gone so much. So we're trying to make these programs where they can use them and not have to always be home for these appointments, and work around their schedules, because we know their schedule is extremely difficult. So that's the part that I think is the most amazing.
Yeah. So next, here are those stats I was talking about. So Rigs Without Cigs, we've already helped 196 drivers quit smoking completely. Another 128 have cut back their usage by a half or more from when they started. 78 have joined for support. That means that they had already quit, but they felt like, I need a little extra help to make sure I stay quit. And so they just joined for that support, and they still get that one-on-one coach. And we've had a 44% success rate, which is really good for a tobacco cessation program. With our Driving Down Diabetes, the groups that have gone through have had an average of 7% weight loss. Their blood pressures come down. We're not required by the CDC to collect their blood pressures, but we wanted them to see how getting healthier drops that as well. And we always ask for the rating. We're 5-star approved. It's a year-long program, and so that deters a lot of people, and the CDC loses a bunch from not wanting to stay in that maintenance phase. But our drivers have enjoyed it so much, they've actually come back for a second year. Multiple drivers have come back for multiple years. They just wanted to stay engaged and keep learning, and enjoyed that camaraderie of talking about issues and what worked for them. And then the vaccines, those are just the numbers of the vaccines we've been able to give. And we always like to share, have the drivers tell you themselves of how our programs have worked for them. And this is Eric Johns, and this is our health and wellness manager, Julie. We actually have a new health and wellness manager just as today, but she's been wonderful. And Eric has used our Rigs Without Cigs program and our diabetes prevention program. So there's a video, we might cut a little short, just to hear a little bit of words from a driver tell you about what he used.
My name's Eric Johns. I got into the St. Christopher Fund because I needed to do something about my health. I'm going to say probably about 8-9 years ago, you're looking at a guy that was about almost 600 pounds. And when I heard about St. Christopher and what they do for drivers, I needed to get involved, see what they can do for me, and how can I can communicate with my own doctor to help me in that direction that I wanted to go. And I'm down because of St. Christopher and my doctor and all the support I've had, I'm down to about 335 around that area now. So, and I'm losing more weight and all this stuff. That's part of it. Another thing part about it is they started a smoking program, and I got involved with that. I've tried everything. I've tried the patch, I tried the gum, I tried the pill, but the way they told me to go about it, it's working for me. What they first started on me is it's like a timer thing. You get this little device, and every time you smoke the cigarette, you press the button. And then after so many cigarettes you smoke in a day, it takes away a little bit of the time. Let's say you smoke every 20 minutes, like a chain smoker. Well, when you restart it the next day, it will go, instead of 20 minutes, it will go 25. So every 25 minutes, you can have a cigarette. And then it will keep adding more time to the smoking, and slowly you'll be quitting. Well, I went through that program, and it helped me a lot. And then they suggested for every cigarette that you smoke, you put 1 or 2 cigarettes in another box, and you forget about that box, because it's more mind over matter doing it that way. Because you already reached for the cigarette, so you think in your mind that you just smoked it. And now I'm down to a pack every 4 days. I was smoking like 3 to 4 packs a day. I was constantly smoking, and my health, my breathing wasn't good. The health program was really interesting because they didn't push you, number one, and because there's a lot of programs out here that will push you to get to your goal. And St. Christopher just said, do it slowly. If you could take 4 steps, take 5. If you could take 5 steps, take 6. And more you increase that and walk and eat more healthier, like greens and vegetables and a good balanced meal. And stay away from the sugar and all this stuff. Well, since I'm a diabetic, I stay away from that stuff. And about 6 months ago, I got in contact with St. Christopher, and I said, Ace, my A1C is 12 point something. And they recommend me to talk to my doctor, and I said, how do I talk to my doctor about it? And they explained how to do it. And they put me on a different kind of medications. I was up to like 7 different medications for diabetes. The program that they got me on got me down to 3 medications. If you don't watch your weight, you don't watch what your body's doing, you, like St. Christopher says, you have to listen to your body. Your body is your temple. If you don't take care of it, you're gone. You know, you're gonna fall.
I'll stop it there. He came, this was taken last year at the show, and he came by the booth, and he has completely stopped smoking, and his A1C is down to 6, and he's lost another 100 pounds. And it's just so great to see that, hearing those stories and knowing that you made a difference and you kept the driver healthy. It's just, it's a joy. So that's our prevention side. That's the free programs that you can use and offer your drivers. Doesn't cost you a thing. It doesn't cost a driver a thing. On the relief part, let's see if it's not moving forward. Okay. That's when the over-the-road driver has an illness or injury and does come off the road. Again, it's just a charity. They fill out an application. These are the criteria. Again, Class A over the CDL, over the road, 500 more miles a day. They have a medical problem, and that medical problem took them out of work and then caused financial difficulty. And just to briefly give you a rundown of how, if you have a driver that ever comes in that situation, our website again is truckersfund.org. We get the application, we receive their medical records. We do that to show they have a legitimate medical problem. Those are also reviewed by our medical director, who's a DOT certified doctor, and he's looking at it to say, give some information on, well, one, is this a legitimate thing? How soon can you return to work? Certain types of strokes are 10 years, some are never, some are 1 year, and the drivers don't often know what that means for them. So we're able to provide some information about that. And then a review committee determines the amount of assistance. When we pay their bills, we pay them directly to their bill holder. So if you want your mortgage paid, we pay Wells Fargo, for example. And then we give all of the applicants other resources that are, again, free things for them to try to find. We can't do it all. I wish we could. But so this is what we've been able to do. We've hit the $4.4 million in giving just for this assistance part for the sick and injured drivers. So over 3,600 drivers and their families. And you can see our biggest need that they need met is rent and mortgage. And here's one of our beneficiaries, Nathan, was almost killed in a motorcycle accident, and helped keep him in his house while he recovered. And I'm going to turn it over to Joyce now to tell you about how all of these free things help keep your drivers.
Right, we'll make it kind of quick. I know it's the end of the day, but I just want to say that about 10 years ago, I joined the board of directors of St. Christopher's Trucker Relief Fund. And we have an amazing board of directors that works together to get the news out about bringing in funds to help drivers, help with all these programs. And when I first came on the board, it was my mission. That's why I became part of it. I wanted to get involved in more prevention. We were paying, as we had our board meetings, I was noticing we were paying out a lot of issues with drivers' health. And what can we do to improve their health? So with Donna's help and direction and leadership, we've really moved this forward, and we are doing, so as you guys can see, so many wellness programs. Our board of directors is made up of some really amazing people, and maybe some of you have heard and listened to the radio, but we have Dr. Tim Ridley from the Red Eye Radio. No, he's not from Red Eye. Eric's from Red Eye Radio. He's from the Dave Nemo Show. Narita Taylor from OIDA, Tom Hines from Coffee Cup, and we have Rudolph Foods, McLeod Software, and TA Petro. So we have some amazing people on this board of directors helping us spread the word that we help drivers. We're looking for more donations, of course, to help more drivers. And as the current president, I just want to say that this has been a valuable retention tool for our drivers, because they know that Joyce Brenny's heart is in helping drivers, and they really like to be part of a company that sees that our money and our time is being spent on helping the industry and helping drivers that are in the industry. So, yeah.
I think, building that sense of community in your organization, and that 90% retention rate is amazing for doing that.
It's a family that's helping a family.
Yeah,
so
keeping each other healthy, keeping each other on top of mind, and just building that culture that you're here for them. And so these are just some ways that Joyce has used and other companies have used to help spread that word about St. Christopher, having the marketing materials on site, telling them when they're hired, referring them to us for any of the programs. Of course, showing that you support them by making a donation. And then we've had lots of companies do these really fun things like golf tournaments and celebrating their drivers during Truck Driver Appreciation, doing employee matching. All of those are building back to that culture of caring that leads to that strong retention rate that Joyce has. So here's our contact information for the staff of St. Christopher. You can see we're a small but mighty team. So feel free to reach out to us. Again, our website is truckersfund.org, and take a picture or give us a call. Let us know. Send us your drivers. And thank you for coming and listening and learning about the St. Christopher Fund.
Thank you. If you have any other questions.
Yeah, if you have, are there any questions?
We'll be meandering around,
One?
so.
Oh, okay, okay. Anybody else have a question for?
Do you have ideas on how to push this information out to drivers? Like how do you?
At our company, what we typically do is we have a driver Facebook page, and we put information on there. We tag, back and forth with the St. Christopher Fund as well. So making sure that we get it in our company newsletters, and we designate 2 months out of the year as a charity to help. So with getting the drivers involved, it makes it fun, and it also helps, other truck drivers, including our own, with the wellness.
And we have marketing materials too. If you're interested, we can send them, and you guys just print them as you need, hand them out as you need, and anywhere you can put our stickers or materials, so they can just keep seeing it and remembering it. Yeah. Any other questions? Well, thank you all again for coming. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.